time of tradition. There were three filmmakers with nothing in common. They thought they had it all figured out. They don't just follow the movies, they make them. Alexander Pavlak, Mario Silvas, and Jamal Alexander are the makers on film.
America! How are you? Welcome to this very special episode of Makers on Film. I am one of the three co-hosts. We're all equal co-hosts. On this very red, white, and blue episode, I will be the blue, Jamal Alexander. Let's move on to the red, Mario Silvas. Say hi.
Why isn't Alex the red? It's summer in Arizona. He's the pink one.
Because I get to say, because then I get to go to the next one and say, let's move on to the white.
Because he's calling me Whitey.
I didn't say that.
What he doesn't realize is just because I'm white means that, I have more money than him.
I was going to say, you get better benefits at work.
Yeah, you get better benefits at work. You can actually make it into certain places that I can't. And we have a very special episode.
Country clubs.
Country clubs. Like, nobody's going to ask him to park their car. Like, me just going in there, somebody's just going to walk by in their like preppy clothes and just toss a key up and expect me to catch it.
Okay, so funny story. Oh, anyway, I'm Mario. I'll take a story in a second.
No. Okay. We're doing a very special episode, releasing it today on the greatest day in history, the most important day in history.
Christmas?
My birthday? Fuck, you beat me to it, Alex.
Apparently, it's the third. We are doing it. We are releasing an episode today on the 4th of July because America, fuck yeah.
You know what I will be doing on the 4th of July after posting this episode?
What?
Going over to the Native American casino and drinking tequila. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you mean Mexican champagne.
Watching the fireworks made in Japan.
Actually, besides the traditional, like, before we get into our movie topic, besides the traditional beer and burgers and barbecue and all of that, what is a great thing to do on 4th of July?
Blowjobs.
You beat me to it. I was going to say have sex, but I guess giving blowjobs is what Mario likes doing on the 4th of July.
Apparently.
Well,
I'm saying in general.
He has the right to now, thankfully, that the U.S. Congress or the U.S. Judging.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, folks, remember, this is the first 4th of July that millions upon millions of Americans can actually say we were married, and as a married couple, we celebrated the independence of America.
Yeah, this is the first legal blowjob
for
same-sex marriages.
You know what? Maybe a lot of same-sex marriage people will have their wedding on the 4th of July. That would actually be kind of cool.
That would be awesome. I mean, it's been a great couple of weeks, and
oh my god! So does that mean next year around this time, it's just going to be littered with fucking gay marriages? Because everyone's going to try to commemorate 626. So they're like, oh, let's commemorate 626 with like our wedding and when, two dudes and two chicks were able to get married.
No, dude, I'm really glad you brought the importance of this up, because somebody are celebrating the importance of this, because I think it was Justice Kennedy. He wrote the majority, and he just gave the line that's going to be repeated at every one of these weddings. It is, oh god, I'm looking it up right now. It was part of.
Apparently, it wasn't that great if Jamal forgot it.
No, I'm trying to get the exact wordage of it right. It's the line.
Y'all motherfuckers can get married now.
Justice Kennedy, this majority. But it is the line that they're going to repeat at every one of these things. God.
While he's trying to find it, I will say that I've changed my plans, and I'll just try to fit my fat ass into my black suit and go and just crash a bunch of same-sex marriage weddings.
I'm going to read the whole thing because I think it's a great thing, but it ends amazingly. This is what he wrote in the his majority decision. Hang on. My computer's being slow right now. No union is more profound than marriage, for it embodies the highest ideals of love. And there's a fucking ad. Fucking Love it.
America. Fucking ad.
No union is more profound than marriage, for it embodies the highest ideals of love, fidelity, devotion, sacrifice, and family. In forming a marital union, two people become something greater than once they were. As some of the petitioners in these cases demonstrate, marriage embodies a love that many endure even past death. It would misunderstand these men and women to say they disrespect the idea of marriage. Their plea is that they do respect it so deeply that they seek to find its fulfillment for themselves. They hope their hope is not to condemn the lives of be condemned to lives of loneliness, excluded from civilization's oldest institutions. They ask for equal dignity in the eyes of the law. The Constitution grants them that right. The judgment of this of appeals for the Sixth Circuit is reversed, and this is the line: "It is so ordered," and that is going to be on shirts. It's going to be hashtag. It is, for me, that so perfectly embodies everything that happened in that court. It is so ordered. Love it.
All right.
All right, go gay people.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Did you link every single one of my Hyde movies to the actual?
Not every
thing?
single one. There were
No, but like most of them you did, didn't you?
there was a couple
Wait.
that I wasn't too sure about. Yeah.
Are they on the website?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where?
On the top right, go to About Us,
Well,
and
no,
then
it's right next to About Us.
oh, is it fucking Skype?
Yeah. If you go right to
Mario's
left.
movie list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a little description about it, and like I said, if Jamal, you want to do a list, movies you like, movies you hate, whatever.
I'm probably gonna do movies I like and movies I hate. I don't know that I'll have a cool hook like Mario for having seen these while high.
Well, you don't need a fucking. These were just movies I watched because I was like, fuck it, I liked that movie when I was sober. Some of them, and like, let's see, I'm going through it again. Super
I'm looking
Mario's
through your.
brother.
I'm looking at this list right now, dude. Attack on Titan.
Dude, fuck yeah, right?
Yeah, awesome.
Oh
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
I wanted to ask House of Cards. I didn't know what movie that was.
Oh no, that's the show on
Show.
Netflix.
Okay, because you have it under movies.
Oh, okay.
And then Alice in Wonderland synced to Dark Side of the Moon.
That it's literally Alice in Wonderland.
Is it Alice in Wonderland or is it the Wizard of Oz?
No, I did both, but I enjoyed Alice in Wonderland more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking at this list, we should probably start doing movies of the movie recommendations of the week, like things we think they should be watching.
We could do that.
Yeah. Because you got quite a list here, man. Pulp Fiction, Martyrs, Seven Psychopaths. I haven't seen Itchy the Killer, but I've heard of it.
Itchy, goddamn it! It feels like a long movie.
Fifth Element. What's Under the Skin again?
It's fucking Mila Jovovich, or not Mila fucking.
Well, you can click on it.
Can I?
Oh goddamn! Yeah, you can. Scarlett Johansson.
Oh no, wait. I know. Yeah, okay. I know which one you're talking about.
By the way, I found out like a week ago. My girlfriend did the box art cover, the DVD box art, and some of the web pages for Seven Psychopaths.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was like, no fucking way. Okay, The Passenger is an old school movie. It's one with Jack Nicholson. As Above, Down Below. It's a French film.
Isn't that a horror flick?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I think I've heard of it.
It's really good. I watched that one not too long ago.
So, which Alice in Wonderland is this?
It's just on YouTube. It's the cartoon version of Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
I wonder if I can find it. Because, I mean, it's Alice in Wonderland, but it's also synced to Dark Side of the Moon, so
well,
I don't know if they've taken it down.
Okay, I'll just link it to the...
I like that you have Seabiscuit on there. All your other movies are like really like a movie nerd, and then Seabiscuit somehow finds his way out there. Pulp Fiction, The Matrix.
Okay. Okay. So there's a story. There's a story behind that. It was a friend just got off tour. He does active duty for the guard, and he came back, and of course the entire time he couldn't smoke. So he came back, he dropped like $400 on like weed, and then he spent another 150 on like this really nice like church warden glass pipe, like an old school like really long pipe, but it was all glass. And so he's like, guys, we're gonna smoke all of this tonight, and we're gonna fucking watch Seabiscuit. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, why would you ever watch Seabiscuit? And why would you do it high? So we smoked. Goddamn, we smoked a shit. I think we went through like maybe 2 ounces in like 3 hours. Like we smoked a shitload. Watch Seabiscuit. It was actually very enjoyable when you're high. And then and then and then like just went on with our day. Like we did that at like 8 in the morning. Watched the movie until like 10 or so like that. I had work at noon. Other friend had work at like 2 that day. And then our other friend, she went down to Malibu to go swim and everything and go hang out with her grandma. So like that's how we started our day, with smoking 2 ounces of weed, watching Seabiscuit, and then went on with our lives like nothing happened.
That is amazing.
I'm looking through your list here, and these are movies you saw while high. Bronson is a dangerous movie to watch while you're high, bro.
Yeah, that's really more of a PCP movie.
Ew.
Did you think
Did you go out and get into a fight?
I started working I started doing kettlebells because of that movie?
Nice. I also noticed you don't have True Romance on this list. Do you not like the movie?
No, because I have a dick. That's why.
You haven't seen. You don't even know what True Romance is, do you?
Oh,
It's written by Quentin Tarantino.
Directed
no,
by.
I've never heard of them.
Oh my God, dude! You have no idea what you're
Oh no,
missing.
it's a really good movie. You should
I
check
mean,
it out.
who was it?
See,
Which
like
Scott
Tony
directed it?
Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah, I've seen that. No, I haven't seen it high though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these are just movies you saw. Huh? Hey, did you
Yeah.
like the two pictures I used for this?
Yes, those fucking killed me, dude. I haven't seen that bottom picture in like a good like 3, maybe 4 years.
Our production of Scooby Doo and the Shadow Man. Like I caption that Jinkies.
Right? God, that was for lighting, wasn't it?
Something like that. I forget what we
Yeah,
were
that
doing.
was a.
I don't even know who the shadow
Yeah,
guy is.
was it a mirror?
No, there's somebody standing right there in a baseball cap that we're looking at.
Yeah, it was a mirror, wasn't it?
A mirror? No.
Or no, not a mirror. Sorry.
Like a cardboard cutout, you mean?
No, fucking the Middle Eastern guy that we had in class.
Okay.
Oh, a mirror, not a mirror.
A mirror.
Not the
No,
reflective
not a
thing.
mirror. Yeah, a mirror. Wasn't it him?
I don't know. It's a shadow, so it's hard to tell facial features.
Get good at it, man. Get good.
I just like me sitting in your lap like Scooby Doo.
Well,
I want to tell you guys.
the
I want
best
to tell you
part is
guys
like
about.
I remember.
I want to tell you guys about my friend Amir. His name's actually John. When we ask him why they call him Amir, his girlfriend just kind of looks at him and goes, "Amir."
Nah.
That's a true story. Anyway,
Anyway, Mario, you were saying?
you'd have to be high to watch Top Gun. Why is this on your list?
Because he was high.
What?
And he watched Top
Yeah.
Gun.
Again, you have to remember, I didn't only watch these movies high. I've seen these movies sober and high.
And Top Gun still makes your list?
What? Yeah, because I saw it when I was high.
Yeah, this is not a list of good movies or movies he liked or anything. This is just a list of movies he watched while high.
Okay.
Yeah, there is no like I didn't watch it in order. Like these were movies that I've seen while high. I think honestly, I think the first movie I ever saw high was Dawn of the Dead, like the original Dawn of the Dead.
That's trippy. Like black and white Dawn
That
of the
was
Dead.
the original. Yeah, I went to Walmart one day at like 2 in the morning. I don't remember why, but in like the dollar bin they had the original Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
And I was like, you've got like, I love this film, so I got it. And like we used to do zombie movies every Friday nights with some friends, so we would I smoked right before I went to their place, and then we watched this film, and I just fucking loved it.
Dude, I wanna for some Halloween, I want to go into a cemetery and watch zombie movies in the cemetery.
Wait, I have to
Apparently
ask now.
they do that in Santa Barbara.
Do they?
They do, yes.
Yeah.
I've heard of that happening like yearly. Like people do that.
Like they
I have to
do
ask
they
now.
do or no, I'm sorry, it's Ojai.
Cool.
I
But
have to
what?
ask now. Did seeing them high actually improve some of these movies for you?
Well, did you read the description that I posted prior to the movies?
Here's a list of movies seen while high. I have no idea if this maybe makes better or worse for him. Okay, so you really have it doesn't change your.
Do you want me to go down the list?
No, well, there's a few that kind of stick out to me. The Super Mario Brothers.
Okay,
Better.
okay. Watch that one high, or watch that one sober. Movie was shit, made no sense. Watch that movie high. I cried when that bitch stabbed Yoshi.
So that one made the movie better.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome. Not Apocalypse Now. That makes sense. It's always a good movie. I would not watch Clockwork Orange while under the influence of anything.
Yeah, that one was rough, I'll admit. Okay, so funny story about Apocalypse Now and Blade Runner. Um, at my school at Brooks Institute, one of our professors just said, "Fuck it." This was right when we got our HD projector, and we just got a Blu-ray player, and our professor, who had like one of the original or a copy of one of the original like Blade Runner, like the last director's cut of Blade Runner, was like, "Fuck it." Every Wednesday we're gonna do movie night, and we're gonna watch a movie. And one of his master's thesis students basically wanted to see these old school movies because he was a script writer, and so our professor's just like, "Fuck it, let's do it." So my friend, who was the techie guy at the school for the film department, set everything up. We watched movies, and so right after class, my old roommate, my buddy, and myself, we got burrito, or we went to his place, got baked out of our minds, went to the taco joint right, or the burrito place right next to our school, and then went to the screening room and watched it while high. Apocalypse Now is really fucking rough because like it's more of a mental game than anything else because it's a great film regardless.
Yeah.
Slow.
Yeah.
And when you're in the mind of fucking the Estevez and oh god, I can't think of his name, but the guy that went rogue.
Sheen?
Fucking
No,
Shane.
Marlon Brando.
Brando. That's what I'm thinking of.
No, I'm
But
talking. You meant
Yeah.
Sheen, right? Estevez.
yeah, Shane. But when you're in their minds, and because weed does enhance things for me personally.
Yeah.
So I was in the minds of those guys. Why this guy had PTSD and why he wanted to go back out in the field, and like all these different emotions that I'm getting from it, and I'm like more in tune to these characters' emotions more than the story itself. Like it was really fucking rough to watch. And same thing with Blade Runner. Like after I watched Blade Runner High, I actually bought the book, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
Yeah.
And I actually read that I read that book sober the first time, and then I reread it high.
List of things Mario does while he's high. Apparently, he reads as well.
We could have put the book on here. Maybe I'll put that at the end.
Yeah, right. And so I did that, and again, it was another great experience for me. It was something fun. Yeah. Alice in Wonderland, it made me appreciate Pink Floyd so much more because I've always been a Floyd fan. Always been a Floyd fan up until the last couple of albums, like the last 2 or 3. But watching Pink Floyd, okay, so the way we watched this one was we had a bong, a small pipe, and I had this other pipe that had a huge chamber on it. So when you inhale, basically the chamber fills up with smoke, and then you let go of the carb. and then you inhale the stuff that's in the chamber. Well, if you don't do it right, you inhale about as much smoke as a bong, and it knocks you on your ass. So there were three of us, just like one would smoke the pipe, one would smoke the smaller pipe, one would smoke the bong, and then we'd just rotate the pipes and do that over and over and over. So at the end of like 10 minutes of us just constantly smoking, we blew through like, I want to say like an ounce, like in 5 minutes, because that's all we did. Watched Alice in Wonderland synced up to Dark Side of the Moon, and there were parts of the film where you would hear this little like tick or this little thing in the background, the quote unquote background of the song, and all three of us like we were taken so far aback from what we were doing. Like all three of us looked at each other and like looked around at the room to try to figure out where that specific sound came from, because it's synced up so perfectly to the film. I mean, even you don't even have to watch that movie high. I mean, if you watch Alice in Wonderland and sync it up to Dark Side of the Moon, do it with a good pair of headphones and do it with a bright screen. That's the only thing I can recommend. But it's a great combination of film and music and just these raw sound effects and these emotions that you're going to be hearing and you feel from these characters, because there's no dialogue throughout the movie. It's just the music. But you get every single emotion from those films, or from that film on that movie, or from the music itself.
Wait, you're sure it's Alice in Wonderland, not Wizard of Oz?
They both sync up to Dark Side of the Moon.
Okay, because I've heard of
Alice in,
Wizard of Oz doing that.
it doesn't sync up as well, in my opinion. I
Okay.
don't think it's synced up as well. Alice in Wonderland, it honestly seemed like that album was made for that movie. Or,
Interesting.
vice versa.
Wait, I see a bunch. I see a bunch of other like Disney movies on here. Did those improve? Finding Nemo.
That made me sad.
Okay, so it did improve it.
Yeah, well, because it made me realize that a lot of people right after Finding Nemo, like I read this years ago, like after Finding Nemo came out, people bought a whole bunch of fish. So like the reef and the coral life, like all around the world, just depleted overnight because people were buying all these little fish for their kids, and they're starting up aquariums, and statistically, like 80% of those fish have died by now.
But 4th of July, and since these two knuckleheads will not share what they think is a very American thing to do on the 4th of July.
I already said what I was going to do.
Blowjobs.
He said blowjobs.
I said I was going over to the casino on the reservation and drink tequila and watch fireworks.
Okay, so one of them wants to get drunk and watch things go boom, and the other one wants to give a blowjob.
And the other one's gonna go boom.
There's a synchronicity to that. They can get together and they have a common ground there. God bless America.
There's nothing more American than either one of those two things. I mean, the French might have kissing, but we have that.
I was like, yeah, but I got dickin', so I'm good.
Knowing full well that it's probably only going to get more wise-ass answers, why don't you fans go to mof.ninja and tell us what you think is a truly American thing to do on the 4th of July?
Whoever agrees with me get $1. I promise.
We're back to dollars again.
Okay, so what are you going to do for the 4th of July there, Mr. Islander?
Apparently not get drunk at a casino or blowjob.
Anything to do with the blowjob.
Drunk is going to happen. The blowjob, I'm not giving anybody a blowjob because that's Mario's thing, and everybody knows that you can only have like one token gay on every show. I'm just saying.
Why does it have to be token?
Why does it have to be one? Why can't you two just get married and get it over with?
Okay. Name a popular one of the top shows on TV that had gay people on it.
Will and Grace.
Besides Will, I said top show.
The L Word.
top show, like Friends. They had like one gay person on there.
Chandler doesn't count.
Thought you said a top show.
I was gonna say Ross.
Dude, I only know the names. I don't know what the actual fucking show is. Fine, Sex in the City.
Top show. Tokenism is going to be a topic for another day. But today, we are going to discuss a movie that... Who selected this one last week? I think it was you, Alex.
It was a joint committee effort, but I believe I
suggested
it. And in retrospect,
okay.
I should have... In retrospect, I should have suggested the National Treasure, but I guess we'll go with this one since it's too late.
It is oddly enough one of those rare finds in film that Mario has not seen high.
Oh, by the way, Queer as Folk.
I said like ratings and stuff, man, like Seinfeld and MASH and all of that. Didn't MASH have like one gay person on it?
I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah. You love MASH.
Well, they had Jamie Farr, but he was just a transvestite. He wasn't gay.
Yeah, and the only reason he was doing that is to get out of the service.
I think he liked it after a while.
Well, yeah, I know he definitely did.
I never actually watched that show. Is that what that was?
Yeah, he was drafted into the service, and he was trying to get out on a Section 8, so he wore dresses.
I thought he was just gay.
No, okay. He actually ended up getting married to a Korean woman at towards the end.
See that just cheapens it for me. Why couldn't they just have a gay character? Never mind. Anyway,
they did a lot of gay jokes about it though, and he did gay jokes at his own expense.
Right,
which
but
was actually kind of cool that they never had a problem with it. But no, he wasn't actually gay.
Right, but were they 70s, 80s? You know, like culturally insensitive, offensive gay jokes?
No. Most of them were actually quite tasteful. There was one that I remember that was absolutely hilarious. It was Jamie Farr in a dress and he was standing next to somebody else, and they come into the tent, and they're like, who are you supposed to be? And Jamie Farr looks over at one of the doctors, and he's like, I'm his wife.
Okay.
And the psychiatrist looks at him, and he's like, that's a very interesting joke.
Okay. All right. Again, tokenism is going to be a thing of this show at some point in the future, but today we are going to celebrate or discuss one of the greatest movies ever made. Today on Independence Day, we will discuss Independence Day.
Get it.
Starring Will Smith. Who was in that? Bill Pullman. Randy Quaid. God, I know there's like a really big name I'm spacing on. I know it had Brent Spiner on there.
Oh, that's right, he was in there. Brendel Fly, Jeff Goldblum.
Goldblum, yeah, that's the one I was spacing on.
Judd Hirsch. Vivica A. Fox. Harvey Fierstein was in there. Speaking of, people of the homosexual nature.
Bert Troyer.
Oh, that's actually this is sort of serendipitous. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but there's a sequel coming out directed by the same guy. Name, please.
Roland Emmerech.
Roland Emmerech, who is himself gay, and it's going. Yeah, and it's going to be the first, and this is a huge blockbuster thing on Independence Day. It's going to be the first big summer blockbuster to feature a married gay couple. Mm. The world is changing, folks.
Because it's showing Independence Day 3 announced, and then Independence Day Resurgence. I guess that's number 2 that's filming, but they have it out of order. Anyway, so oh my God.
God, we're just struggling. We're just struggling through this one.
Okay, so Independence Day, the story of aliens destroying national monuments. This made destroying national monuments cool up until September 11th.
I thought it was the story of how Will Smith can only play one character, but that character makes money anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the B plot.
Okay.
But no, yeah, it's aliens destroying the world and the world being saved by America yet again.
Yep,
because America.
Yeah, but didn't the world come together at the very end? It's like, oh no,
right behind us, we were the ones leading the charge.
Well, it was summed up by the British.
Oh, so let me get at this. say it this way. So the Americans learned how to destroy the foreigners, is what you're saying.
Kind of, yeah, but it got summed up by the British when they got the message. The guy reads it off and says the Americans are figured out a way to bring down the shields, and they want to mount a counteroffensive. And then the commanding officer of the Brits said, "Oh, it's about bloody time." Like everybody was just sitting around waiting for the Americans to figure out a way to defeat the aliens. And in reality, I'm surprised the Americans just didn't build a giant wall around them.
Yeah, but how long does that actually work?
Well, it works pretty good as long as we have men on that wall, or women.
For Mexicans.
Well, no, we don't. No, we don't want Mexicans on the wall. That's the whole point of the wall.
Wait,
Why?
William Fichtner was in this movie?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
he was the alien.
General Adams.
Uh,
Huh.
Robert
Wow, this movie had a lot of like big name actors or quality actors that I just
Adam Baldwin.
Cella Ward, Joey King. Nice.
James Rebhorn.
Oh,
Veteran character actor.
okay.
He's played presidents and president's men throughout history. He was in Scent of a Woman. He was in The Game. He's in Homeland.
Anyway, no, good movie. I thought it embodies everything that is the 90s action film or the 90s epic. It had excess. I think it was kind of like the first film, and Roland Emmerich's the guy that really sort of popularized this, where you had this, these moments in films where just something huge would happen, that like an entire city would be wiped out, or an entire, a spaceship the size of the moon just blew up. I think he was kind of the first guy that did that. I mean, yeah, you'd seen it before, like with the Death Star exploding and all that, but not done in this form or fashion. Not done with this sort of visual style to it.
Roland Emmerich is German for Michael Bay.
Yeah, but would you say, well,
he cares more about the acting portion of the movie, but if you look at how he does special effects and the kind of movies he does, Day After Tomorrow, 2012, Godzilla, he's all about the special effects and explosions.
hang on. I take it back. Feichner was not in that. I was on the wrong page. I was looking at the sequel page. Anyway, yeah, he is very much the European Michael Bay.
Yeah.
But he has genuine talent outside of that. He did direct The Patriot with, unfortunately, with an Australian playing the lead role. That was Mel
Gibson.
Yeah.
Why is that unfortunate?
Because he's an Australian playing an American.
But at that point, they were all foreigners.
No.
Yeah, they all would have had accents. The founding fathers.
Not an Australian one.
Well, no, I guess not Australian unless he was a prisoner. But the point is that they probably would have most had either French or British accents. And even at the end, what's his face who's on the $100 bill? Ben Franklin didn't even stay in America. He went off to France. And do you know why he went off to France?
Why did he go off to France?
Because the women were easier in France.
I'm saying
Ben Franklin liked himself some whores.
All I'm saying is that it absolutely breaks my heart that a movie as great as Lincoln was made, and it won so many awards, and the actor wins an award, and it turns out that our American icon and hero was played by a British man. I'm just...
All right, that one I'll give you. Lincoln was born in Illinois.
Lincoln starring Daniel Day-Lewis? Mario?
What? Yes, go on.
Okay, you saw that, right?
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the Lincoln Lawyer, which is apparently Abraham Lincoln's attorney, I guess.
No, wait, what? Oh, wait, isn't that the Matthew McConaughey thing he did a while back that I thought was action but wasn't? Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. It's just sometimes you have to ignore the trailers because they don't know how to build movies. But that one was actually pretty decent. That's like probably one of 3 Matthew McConaughey movies that I really like.
Name the other 2.
A Time to Kill, which he also played a lawyer in. And I know you want me to say Magic Mike because that's your favorite movie of all time. But it's not that. I actually have to look that up because I forget what the third one is.
Mud.
No, I didn't see that one.
Apparently, that one's really good.
Oh, Sierra. I actually like Sierra, or I liked him in Sierra.
Guido just said Sierra and then changed it back to Sierra.
Just gonna let that one go.
Because you never accidentally mispronounced something in your life, dickhole.
No, but you're the only one that constantly does it when we're
Yeah,
recording.
you have a penchant for it when you're on mic.
And the
Yeah.
best part is, you don't do it in real life. Only when you're like
No, I
That's
do it.
being
true.
recorded.
I do
That's
it in
true.
real life. I'm trying to remember things, and as my brain works harder, it makes more mistakes. When I'm talking to you in real life, I'm just bullshitting.
Yeah,
mostly.
exactly.
That's supposed to what we were doing here.
But it's because of my dyslexia. It's hard for me to things and stuff.
Perfect example.
Me not dumb.
It hard me smart thing.
Anyway, back to the movie.
So yes. So
I get your analogy. I get your comparison there, and I think it's a fair comparison. Michael Bay. They're both very much okay with them pigeonholing themselves.
oh yeah, I don't think Emmerich has any problem with it whatsoever.
He's all right with being associated with just one genre and really one kind of film, which is sad because he actually, of the two, he's the one that's actually displayed a little bit more, but for whatever maybe just for the monetary benefits, sticks to the one thing. Like he might be an actually good dramatic director. Like he could do other stuff, but is so entrenched in this one style that it's almost comical.
Yes.
How are the cats?
What are the cats doing for 4th of July, Mario?
Obviously gonna mooch off me more.
Ooh, he's doing Stargate. Is that a
Who?
reboot? Roland Emmerich.
It
I think
looks
he
like it's gonna be
directed
a
the.
reboot.
What? I thought he just directed the first one, and that's what?
I think they're doing a reboot of it.
Roland Emmerich directing Stargate does not make any sense to me.
It's the first of a trilogy.
Stargate is a smaller thing, and then wait, hang on, I'm looking it up right now.
But the thing about Independence Day that I didn't get is why did the aliens have to wait 6 hours to attack the Earth? Why couldn't they just move over a city and then blow it up and then move on? It wasn't like we had any real defense against them, and had they done that, they would have systematically destroyed us before we figured it out that they had shields.
Because they were charging. They were charging their mass destruction weapon. That's what it is.
They need to work on that.
It on. Yeah.
There should have been a giant crank on the outside that they had to, fly ships around to charge it up with.
It's that one alien like, hey, where's Bert? Fucking Bert needs to go and like recharge it now.
And it should make the pop goes the weasel noise.
Right. So when the laser goes off, it's just boosh.
That should be the next Killer Clowns from Outer Space right there.
Hey, what's a better defense if you're one of those two directors? That you let the audience decide if a movie's good by how much they pay, or that you straight up say, I make enjoyable popcorn entertainment and I am a filmmaker, not a scientist?
There's no excuse for not doing your research, but for a movie like Independence Day, the way he does it, you do buy into it that, okay, they're coordinating their attack for some reason, and they're completely indestructible for some reason. So, you kind of buy into that. So the fact that his science may or may not be accurate, it goes out the window, because what you see on the screen, you totally buy into.
Yeah.
So the popcorn thing is the better argument or better defense.
Yeah, for him, for like Michael Bay.
Michael Bay's was the first defense, by the way.
Michael Bay trips up everything that he does. He's all about the explosions, and he doesn't care how he gets to them. And every movie, the explosion has to be bigger and bigger. And I can only assume that when he directs, he has one hand down his pants. So
I've said this to you guys before on the show. Everything else about his movie sucks, but when it comes to those kinds of stuff, the action and the stuff like that, and the stylized action, I think he's better than 90% of the directors out there.
I think what he needs to do is make a silent film. If he made a silent film, just doing his normal visual thing, I think he would make an amazing film. It's when he has to have actors start talking to convey whatever message he wants to convey.
I would agree with you, but then I saw the last Transformers, and he did the action stuff so much that about a third of the way into that film, they were absolutely meaningless. Like he took the joy, he literally robbed the joy out of the Michael Bay joy out of a Michael Bay film.
No, I'm sure he can find a way to do it. Like I said, if it was just all a silent film, like if he had what was that Tom Cruise script where he's on the planet, the Wall-E kind of story,
No, you're
Oblivion.
talking.
Oblivion.
Yeah, you're talking. That was here, by the way, on Earth.
Yeah, if Michael Bay had done Oblivion and he did it without any conversation, if it was just Tom Cruise by himself, not even talking, that would have been an amazing film.
I thought he was like quite a bit in that movie. Have you seen it?
You what?
Have you seen Oblivion?
Yeah.
I thought he did quite a bit of talking, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. What I'm saying is if there was no talking in there, if it was just Tom Cruise alone, no talking,
Yeah.
directed by Michael Bay, I think that would be an amazing film.
Or if he did Wall-E.
Or if he did Wall-E. Yeah, if he did something like that, I think that would be an amazing film by Michael Bay. But when he starts trying to actually direct people and how to say lines, he doesn't care about that. He's like, say it however you want. We'll move on to an explosion.
That's better than when he tries to make characters or make dialogue, because then it just comes out, racist.
Oh yeah, so it is very racist. There's also a reason why he should just do silent films.
Yeah. You know what? He'd probably make a great. You guys are the behind the scenes guys, and there's like a stunt coordinator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd probably make a great one of those.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Special effects guy, stunt coordinator, something like that. Yeah.
Like imagine Spielberg decided, hey, or who's a great dramatic director right now? Who did The Wrestler again? Aronofsky. Yeah. Aronofsky got a huge budget and says, hey, make me a blockbuster hit, and he just says, I'll do the serious stuff. You take care of the action bits. That's a good movie, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
There you go.
I'd watch it.
I gotta say though, Roland Emmerech, unlike Michael Bay, doesn't really do the stereotypes. He does kind of flesh out his characters a little bit more.
No. The fact that he's including like the first openly gay couple in his next one means that he actually cares about what's happening in between the action scenes. I mean, there's and it's you go to his wiki right now. There's an entire section devoted to criticisms, and they point out they suffer from cliche dialogue and flimsy or formulaic narrative. But he's at least he's making an effort to create original, realistic characters. They along the way they may start to like become cliche.
Well,
as the movie progresses, they become cliche action characters. They're not cliche individuals or persons.
No, he does do pretty much the same thing over and over. It's something's going to destroy the Earth.
Yeah.
A scientist who is the only person who knows what's going to happen gets contact with the president. They figure out a way to counteract it after most of the Earth gets destroyed.
Here's a way for me to describe it. You know what the stinger is, right? The stinger line, the tagline, basically.
Yeah.
That cheesy line the action hero always says after he shoots somebody or something, right? His movies, the characters do say that. Then immediately after saying that, they go back and have a meaningful conversation with a partner or something.
Yeah, I mean, 2012 was good. Like towards the end when they were discussing whether they should let the rest of the people on the boat or not.
Yeah.
And I was actually kind of for the guy who was like, no, we shouldn't let people on the boat. Because at this point, it's like the crowd is getting too violent and they're starting to just push people off the pier. And like, it's, they could have made more space for more people in the beginning, and that's what they should have done. Since the boat was full, you have to kind of weigh out the kind of provisions that you have, the room that you have, and the weight that you have on a boat. and they should have shoved off and left those people there, in my opinion. I mean, I understand why they had to have the heart-touching, open the doors and let everybody in kind of scene, but I was actually kind of rooting for the politician there.
Roland Emmerich such kind of like a tertiary note in Hollywood now that it's kind of hard to like everything I know of him is from like a decade old, or at least anything I care of his is a decade old. By the way, I'm looking through his wiki right now. Stargate, he directed the first Stargate.
Yeah,
I don't think he's doing a reboot.
it's on his IMDb page.
Huh. Like I liked Godzilla, and I know everybody else didn't, but I enjoyed the movie. I mean, then again, I did see it when I was a kid.
For what it was pretty decent, and it was, the only thing was he made it too much like Jurassic Park. He should have made it more Godzilla-like, but there were very Godzilla-like moments in that movie, and they were very interesting and very cool. And again, I liked the characters. I liked what's his face from The Simpsons, Pooh from The Simpsons running around with the camera.
Hank Azaria.
Hank Azaria, thank you. I like
a very underrated actor.
Very much so. I loved him in Mystery Men. He's great in that movie.
Yes, he is. I saw not the whole thing, but I saw bits and pieces of each of the Night at the Museum ones.
Yeah,
I think he's hilarious in that.
He is hilarious. He does great with the voices. Didn't he have some sort of conversation going on with Darth Vader in one of them?
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Why are you wearing a cape? Are we going to the opera? No, I don't think so. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
See, that's a guy who can ad lib and do it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very good at what he does.
Yeah. I'm still on the Roland Emmerich's wiki, and look, they have a bunch of his movies ranked or listed with their ranking on like Rotten Tomato and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's not completely terrible. I mean, he has a Universal Soldier was 20%. Yeah, he did direct Universal Soldier.
That was actually pretty well liked when it first came out too.
Well, it was successful. It made like over 100 million against like a budget of like 15.
Yeah.
Stargate 48%. Independence Day. Anybody care to guess?
Independence Day is probably going to be like I'd say somewhere around 60%.
You're on the wiki page.
No.
60%. Godzilla 25%. The Patriot, his best ranked movie, 62%.
Really?
The Patriot
would be more.
No, it fell on 62%. Metacritic has it at 63 out of 100. Huh. The Day After Tomorrow, 45%. 10,000 BC, an abysmal 8%. 2012, which was released in 2009, which really should have been released in 2012 and probably would have made more money. 39%.
Well, if you watch the movie, there may not have been a 2012, and that would have been a very bad opening.
Okay.
You open your movie and then floods come in? No, you want to open it up a little early.
Anonymous, which I just heard of right now, and I'm clicking on it, 46%. The hell is Anonymous? Oh, he directed a film, Anonymous. It's about like the person who actually wrote all of
Shakespeare stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw that. That was, I found that a little boring, a little dry. I mean,
then
there were some parts interesting in it because it did go into the theory that Shakespeare was just a figurehead, but a little dry.
And White House Down, that one came in with 50%, so it broke even. But it has Channing Tatum in it, so that works against it.
No, that was. Oh no, wait, that was White House Down. I'm thinking of Olympus Has Fallen. That one was a good one.
Olympus Has Fallen. Yeah, I read that it has actually rated lower.
Really?
48.
Wow.
Not much lower, but lower.
It was the better movie. It had the better actors and the better acting in it. And they're doing a sequel to it, London.
Yeah, London Has Fallen.
Yeah.
And I've heard that the same comparison or critique of both movies, that they were the best Die Hard movies they had seen in a long time.
Yeah, it was Die Hard in the White House. I didn't like the fact that in White House Down, they gave the president a gun. Whether he is able to fire a gun or not, that's not a good image for the president. But they did it. I like Jamie Foxx as the president, though. He did a pretty good job.
I don't like Channing Tatum as our new action guy.
I don't
Which
like
really,
I don't like him
Dwayne
as anything.
Dwayne Johnson's the new action guy. I don't want to think that Magic Mike is the action hero of movies. I can't wrap my head around that.
They're coming out with a sequel to Magic Mike. Have you seen the trailers for it?
I know they're coming out with a sequel. I haven't looked at the trailers just because I have no interest. I do find it interesting that they found Donald Glover to be part of that movie.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
I
know who
didn't know.
Donald? You know who Donald Glover is, right?
I know who Donald Glover is.
Who is he?
Oh, he's your daddy.
You're googling it right now, aren't you?
No, I know who Donald Glover is.
Who is he?
He's an actor.
Okay, keep googling.
So, Mario, what did you think of the ID4, or Independence Day, as it's known in some circles?
ID4.
Yeah, it's called ID4. You've never heard it called that? Because
No.
it's on like all the posters and the artwork and the box cover and everything.
No. Just Independence Day is all I've ever really heard of it.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about it having that alternate title?
Huh. Son of a bit. Why is it ID4?
Independence Day and then 4th of July. Because that's when the action happens.
That's dumb. That's really bad design. That's actually really dumb design.
Well, it kind of screws it up for a sequel because now it's going to be ID4-2. And that doesn't make any kind of sense.
And then people can be like, oh, there's no 42 days in a month. So, fucking stupid. Anywho, God damn, what? This movie came out in 96. I think I saw this movie in theaters. Loved it to shit, actually. Emmerech, great job at it, great casting, all that. I mean, essentially what you guys said is basically what I had to say about it, minus the Jamal going off on a random tangent every once in a while.
He went off on tangents. I didn't.
So the question I have for you, Mario, because you're a sound guy and you deal a lot with cables, what kind of cable do you think they would use to hook up a Mac to an alien spacecraft? Because I'm thinking they'd go with coax myself, which means you'd have to have some sort of adapter. But what do you think?
This is a real conversation we're having right now.
Well, what kind of cable would you use to hook up, a Macintosh to a alien spacecraft?
Clearly an HDMI to a micro HDMI.
Ooh, that is a good cable. But they didn't have those back then, so.
Get the fucking alien ship.
Would you use component or composite?
Exactly.
Component. You'd have to use a component. Composite wouldn't make any sense.
Or would you just have to hardwire it in? And if you had to do that, would you need a soldering gun?
You just fucking slammed the computer into some sort of desk, hoping the information to get transferred over.
And how would you go about bolting on some sort of nuclear device delivery system onto the wing of an alien spacecraft?
Duct tape.
Oh yeah, duct tape. Okay.
Yeah, come on, don't be dumb.
I guess that was kind of a dumb question. I'm sorry.
God, honestly, love the movie, love the shit out of it. I mean, it's almost got a 7.0 on IMDb. What you're saying, it has like an 80 on Rotten Tomatoes, Jamal?
For which one? For ID4 60.
It's got a 60?
Yeah, I know, right?
What? I totally thought you said 80.
60.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with you people? But I don't know, great film. Honestly, was probably the only Roland Emmerech movie that I really like, that I still enjoy. Yeah. I mean, I'm from what you guys were saying. Universal Soldier, Ghost Chase, fucking Godzilla, The Patriot. I mean, fucking, you can go on and on and on, but ID4, Independence Day to novices apparently like me, was the only movie that I really enjoyed. Every other thing, I've seen most of these. I haven't seen Anonymous though. That's pretty much the only one that I haven't seen. Was Shakespeare a fraud? Jesus Christ.
You weren't a fan of Universal Soldier?
Not really. Watched it. It was just another. Cause what that came out in '92.
Yeah.
God, what else came out that year?
Reservoir Dogs, A Few Good Men, League of Their Own, Basic Instinct, Batman Returns, Unforgiven, Aladdin, Alien Cubed, Last of the Mohicans, Dracula.
See, and those movies will far outseed Universal. Most of those films would far outseed something like Universal Soldier.
No,
Great movie.
91. Okay, you're right. 91 was the.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great film. I enjoyed it, but it was okay with me. But something like Independence Day, I mean, it blew him up, and it is to this day a great movie. He's a better producer in my eyes, though. He can get shit. He's the one that can get shit done, and he can do it very well. I mean, fuck his. Actually, everything that he produced, it seems like he's produced for his own movies. Same thing with most of his writing credits as well. But he's not a director.
There was
really don't.
There was a Godzilla the series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to watch that every Saturday morning as a kid.
Oh, cartoon. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was a cartoon.
I thought it was a live action one.
It lasted 2 seasons, I want to say. Yeah, it was 2 seasons.
There's 40 episodes. Let's see. Yeah, 2 seasons.
It was quite terrible.
Watched it every Saturday.
I watch it every once in a while. However, I did watch the Men in Black series every freaking week.
Oh, see, that was a good cartoon.
Yeah.
I liked that one. I actually liked that better than like some of the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Was you like in your 20s when that came out?
Yeah, so.
Okay, no, just make sure.
I used to watch the Power Rangers too all the time.
Well, that's just an American classic, sir.
God, the first generation of Power Rangers are the only ones that I could watch. Anything after that, couldn't.
Yeah. When you say the first generation, like up to what point?
It was like the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Like what Zords did they have when you decided they weren't cool anymore?
Fucking after the White Ranger.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the first movie they did with those characters, and that movie was actually really good, and I actually liked the special effects on that. It was actually pretty decent for the time.
Yeah.
And then anything
but
after
they had
that?
a ton of money to throw. They had a ton of money to throw at it.
Oh fuck! They still have a shitload of money to it.
They're making a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently they were supposed to. Apparently one came out not a couple years ago, but it encompassed like every single Ranger kind of thing.
Yeah, they had a big reunion thing.
Yeah, it was like Gen 1 to like Gen 60 or whatever the fuck it is right now.
Yeah.
And apparently it was really cool. I haven't seen it, but I really do want to.
That's interesting. I have to check that out.
But they have like Pirate Rangers right now and all this shit. I'm like, that's just weird. Too. That's just even for like modern days. That's too much of a stretch.
Well, it's just because pirates are big now, and it's whatever's coming from the actual Japanese studio, I guess, because all the actual fighting scenes are the Japanese, and the non-fighting scenes are American.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why the Pink Ranger outfit has that little skirt on it, and then the Yellow Ranger outfit doesn't, even though the Yellow Ranger is a girl, because the Yellow Ranger is only a girl in America.
Yeah. Yep. Because the Yellow Ranger has to be a guy.
Am I the only one that totally misses the 90s right now?
Oh, God, no.
There was some good stuff in the 90s.
No, there definitely was some great thing in the 90s, but I love having like the modern movies and modern technology now. Just it's it's better living now and better luxuries now than it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
That and I get to drink alcohol, so fuck the 90s.
It's nice to revisit them once in a while.
No, definitely. That's why, you get on, you go on Netflix and you find that one, 90s section. You're like, cool. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna day drink. I'm gonna just do nothing but this today. And then you do it.
You're gonna watch that one TV show or watch those couple of movies that you really love from the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking watch Mulan today. That's my day.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah. You're gonna watch what was that series? The Rockies. You're just gonna watch all of the Rockies.
Which we probably should do for the show one day.
Do a series?
I'm gonna suggest that we do some sort of TV show.
I'm in.
No, I'm gonna suggest a TV show from 2000s and on.
Oh, okay. Then I have a suggestion for you.
Go ahead.
They recently announced the addition of the Punisher to the next season of Daredevil. And since the three of us have probably all seen Daredevil,
Nope.
Daredevil?
I haven't gotten all the way through it yet.
I haven't even started.
Oh, you guys don't know what you're missing.
Well, see, the thing is, whenever there's a show like that, I don't watch it for a while. Just because I know if I watch it, I'm just gonna binge so goddamn hard.
It's only 12 episodes long. Do it.
Yeah, that'll be my Saturday.
Well, just get high and do it, because you got to get high and not going to do anything anyway.
I do things when I'm high.
Yeah, like watch TV.
I eat copious amounts of food when I'm high.
That is what America is all about. Not
God,
just
we are so far off topic right now. Independence Day, an American movie as it gets, based in America, directed by a German. We had a conversation not too long ago about Europeans directing our movies in our styles. What did you guys think of this?
Anyway, like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, that's what's great about America is not only can you get high and watch TV, but you can talk about getting high and watching TV.
I was just trying to put us back on topic, but high and watching TV is fine too.
Yeah. No, what was your question and/or statement?
If you weren't paying attention, then we're good.
No, I just forgot after doing my my tirade there.
Yeah, no, I forgot too because I was listening to Alex's dumbass.
Well, no,
I don't know why I listen. I still don't know why I listen to him nowadays.
Oh,
he says something. You know what it is? Alex is the perfect shiny moment because you're having this nice conversation, and then Alex chimes in. You're like, huh, that's true. I wonder how much money Robert De Niro did make on Home Alone 2. Or some bullshit like that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you do realize that's the trapping of it all. That you know I'm intelligent, so you think I'm going to say something intelligent, but I never say anything intelligent.
Yeah, and you're just an asshole.
I don't know that.
I'm an asshole and I say non sequitur things, and then you look at me like, what the fuck did you just say? Why does that have to do with the conversation? And then you think, huh, I wonder if that is true.
And the worst part is it's not even a good non sequitur. It's just you saying the first thing that comes to your brain.
Usually, yes.
That's it. So goddamn frustrating.
See, I have this friend and he was supposed to be on the show, but he had other commitments, I guess, or whatever. But my best friend from high school, Toby, who is a recording engineer and who does a lot of movie producing and whatnot. We do this all the time. We will have a conversation. We will say something non sequitur and then go back to the conversation. Or the better part is when we're at a party or anything, we will just start throwing out non sequitur things to people as they try to have a conversation just to screw them up.
Actually, it is really fun to do that with Alex every once in a while. Because what was it, The last time I was in town and we went to the New Year's party over at Adrian's place.
Oh my god, that was so long ago, but yeah.
Yeah. I just remember us just going to the backyard, drinking, and then just fucking with drunk Mikey.
Oh yeah,
Just
him too. I was gonna say Shamika because we do that to her all the time.
yeah, that's it. She's married now, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she randomly called me this past February, and she's like, "I'm worried I'm not going to be a good like wife," and I'm like, "You haven't spoken to me in like 3 years." The fuck? Okay, so I was drunk actually, so
Yeah, notice how I don't get that call.
no, because you're the one that was trying to hit on her the entire time.
And
Actually, the funniest one was when you pissed her off, keep pushing the hazard button on her car.
I should never sit in the front passenger seat of anybody's car.
Should actually, because of you, I started doing that to all my friends.
What's also fun is putting their car into neutral, because if their car has like a nice smooth engine, you never know that it goes into neutral. Then they'll hit the gas, and then they'll freak the fuck out.
Actually, a friend of mine did that to me, but he pushed the button while he was like just naturally gripping, so he accidentally put my car into reverse. You know, LA, so you have to step on your gas as fast as you possibly can the second it turns green. Fucking almost rear-ended this lady. And I looked at him, I was like, "You ever do that again, you're paying for the goddamn damage." So fucking angry with him that day. But anyway, so yeah, foreigner directing an Asian or directing an American movie. I think he did a great job.
How long has he been in the country for? Because I think by this point he can almost be considered an American.
He essentially is an American, but
his entire film career has been in America.
Yeah. Like I said, he's essentially an American.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he did a great job. Honestly, he did a great job in Independence Day, like the epitome of America. You know, did a great job with it. Jamal, are you touching yourself?
What?
Because like the first film that he directed that he got any note for would have been Universal Soldier, and that's with Jean-Claude Van Damme. But that's when Jean-Claude Van Damme was just starting to get into American films. So
was that?
Yeah, it was like it was Kickboxer, then Universal Soldier, and Universal Soldier is much like the Terminator, which you'll hear our talk about on the next show. But it was much like the Terminator, where he didn't actually say much. I don't think he was a cyborg, because that was a different movie that he was in called Cyborg. But he was like bred to be a soldier, and so he didn't talk much. He was a strong silent type, which I think worked in because he had a thick accent. So
doesn't he still have an accent? Like, not as thick, but he still has an accent.
Yeah, it's kind of like Schwarzenegger, where it's faded over time because he's been so immersed in America.
I mean, I give him props for being able to, learn a different language entirely and be able to act in that language as well.
I know, considering that Jamal, who natively speaks American and can't get an acting job to save his life.
Oh, that's fucked up. That was below the belt, yo.
I honestly stopped listening to you guys like right around the time Drunk Mikey came up. Because we've been trying to stay on topic. Like nothing in this is going to be worthy of the podcast from that.
I find it funny that there has not been a podcast that we've done where somebody has paid 100%, where everybody has paid 100% attention to what was going on.
I've been on theartofmanliness.com just reading right now.
Every podcast, somebody's like, "Oh, I stopped paying attention to you guys a while ago."
Yeah, it's mainly me.
It's mainly you. I'm gonna have to start checking out every once in a while.
Yeah, you see, you need to stop caring.
I do. Anyway, so any last thoughts about Independence Day while we wrap this up?
It certainly did not feel 45 minutes.
It's actually been 53 minutes.
Yeah, and what did you do for like 20 minutes out of that 53? What did you guys talk about?
We exercised our First Amendment right, and
Shut up.
Oh my god. Worst 4th of July episode ever.
Again, we exercised our First Amendment right and talked about things.
Shut up!
We talked about gay marriage. We talked about, Roland Emmerech. We talked about getting high.
You talked about pushing the hazard light onto somebody's car while you sit in the passenger seat.
Well, that was Mario, but that was just something I did.
Yeah, and guess where I did that? America, sir.
Was it an American car?
No, it was Korean.
Oh, fuck that car then. Push the hazard lights. It deserves it.
See, you were listening to us, Jamal.
Like I was fading in and out while I was reading this list on another website.
You see, what's great is when they go to turn off the hazard lights, you push another button on the car, like to turn on or off the AC.
Windshield wipers.
Or you do the windshield wipers, and then you go back to the hazards, and then you put it in neutral.
My favorite thing to do is to pull. If you pull in most modern cars, if you pull the lever that has the windshield wipers, it'll spray the fluid, the windshield wiper fluid.
Yeah.
And then a couple seconds, if you do it long enough, a couple seconds later, the windshield wiper will activate.
Yeah.
So my favorite thing to do is to hold it down, just inconspicuously, go over, hit it with one finger, and then just freaks them out. They're like, "Oh, what the fuck is going on?" And then just windshield wiper, and it just moves all the dirt across their window, so that they're pissed off and they're freaking out because I can't see while driving. So they have to do it all over again, while you can just sit there and pee on yourself and laugh.
What's also good is like when they start to complain about stuff as the driver, you reach over and then start honking the horn.
I haven't done that one yet.
Oh, they get so mad.
I need to do that one.
They start smacking your hand away, be like, "No, don't do that. You're gonna get us in trouble."
You're like, "Yeah, I know."
Okay, well, that has almost been an hour.
Jamal hates us.
He does so much.
What?
Jamal.
I would like to thank.
What?
Love you.
Okay.
I would like to thank Jamal for joining us on this most epic of holidays, the 4th of July.
Wait, are we done?
We're done.
Okay.
So that's it. This show's going up as is. I'm not going to do any editing, except I might put the gay marriage stuff at the end.
I would honestly rather this didn't make it to air. Like, this is a horrible decision. I'm having regrets.
The feedback that I get from family and friends is that they like the shows where we just talk shit.
I wouldn't know. I haven't been paying attention for the last half hour.
Well, what do your friends say about the show?
That we need...
Yeah, all two of them.
Yeah, they both say...
The two that aren't us.
Then I have nothing to say then.
No, what do they say?
Well, you said the two that aren't you. I have nothing to tell you then.
Well then, there you go. We like the show the way it is, don't we, Mario?
What?
Exactly. And thank you, Mario, for joining us here at this most epic of holidays, the 4th of July Makers on Film special. And you know where you can go to hear the Makers on Film 4th of July holiday special? That's right. You can go to MOF.ninja.
Thank you for joining me in on that one, Jamal. That made me so happy.
Oh, this is a horrible mistake.
Well,
no, so Alex, what you need to do, you need to have this one up, and then just do like an uncut version of it. It's like, look, if you guys want it, you can download it, but it's not going to be streaming anywhere. It's just going to be for download.
Maybe.
That way they have to commit to wanting to listen to this one.
Oh, happy birthday, America.
I like the fact that Jamal hates this episode, but we recorded 2 episodes today in less time than we usually record one.
Yeah, it's true.
No. Actually, this is dragging on. What, 4 hours coming up?
Yeah, but the best part is Alex and I are having fun. You're just the only one that's angry.
I'm not angry. I'm actually just tuning you guys out. Like I've been actually been learning stuff.
If you'd have been listening to us, you would have learned something else.
Yeah.
Like how to annoy people.
I'm pretty sure. Well, you guys, just working with you guys on this show teaches me how to do that.
Mario,
what?
You know what would be the most epic thing ever?
What?
If you're riding passenger in a cop car and you kept hitting the siren.
Oh God.
I totally want to do a ride along now just to do that.
So in Arizona, one of my old car just died on me one day, and I was like, "Fuck him!" Like that sucked. So I found a cop. I asked him if I can go with him to go push my car out of the way, and he goes, "Yeah, sure. Don't touch any of the buttons, though." And so I looked at him. I was like, "What if I did?" It's just a Jamal murmuring.
Apparently, he can't read to himself.
What?
Anyway, what did the cop say if you did touch any of the buttons?
All he says is, "Well, if we do pull someone over, at least make sure it's a hot chick." Fair enough, cop. Fair enough.
Oh, I would totally be scoping out for that.
Right? It was like a 2-minute drive I had to go with him. Literally, it was like from the back of the campus to the front of the campus, get my car, and then that was it. It's fucking funny, though. All right, gentlemen. Well, I love most of you, I love you guys, and I love most of our viewers. So, that has been another fantastic episode of us annoying Jamal. And where can we go to listen to all this stuff, Alex?
Who's a noise? This has been the most educational half hour I've had in like a while.
You can go to iTunes or Stitcher, or you can head on over to our website, mof.ninja, where you can review the show notes and learn about things like the movies we've talked about, or how annoyed Jamal is on a scale of 1 to 10.
Again, who's annoyed?
No, see, that's the beauty of it, Jamal. We're trying to annoy you right now by saying that we're annoying you.
Okay.
And I think it's working, because every time he says he's not annoyed, he gets a little bit louder.
Yeah, he does get a little bit louder, doesn't he?
Well, no, I'm just confused more than anything else.
Would you say you're a little confused but a lot annoyed?
No.
I'm surprised he just didn't hang up right there on us.
I'm just sad that I haven't had anything to drink today, because this episode would have been even better drunk.
God, right. I had one highball.
Wait, you guys haven't been drinking?
Beginning. I had a highball at the very beginning.
Oh, that reminds me. One of these episodes, like for one of our more monumental ones, like maybe 15th or 20th episode, I want to do one where we actually watch a movie live and commentate during it.
Oh, God.
Commentate on it during the show. Are you guys down for that?
Comment on it?
Yes.
Yeah, like we would watch the movie ahead of time, or pick a movie that we've seen before, and then we would all, push play at the same time on the movie, and then commentate on it during the show.
So comment on it?
Yes.
Okay, say comment on it.
Both are legit.
No, they're not.
What do you do during a football game? You commentate. You're a commentator. We would be commentating on a film.
Mario, is he right?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Boosh.
Boosh?
Boosh. Hey, who's the writer here? I'm the wordsmith. I may not pronounce the words correct.
Fucking kill yourself. That's what you are.
You would have no more fun in the world, Mario, if I wasn't around to show you things that you could do to annoy people.
All right, that's true. I'll give you that.
All right. But anyway, for the third time, thank you for joining us, Mario. Thank you for joining us, Jamal.
Barely here.
For those of you who want to learn more about the makers, go over to mof.ninja and you can see the About Us section, or you can see the list of films that Mario has watched while high. And soon there will be lists of movies that are recommended by us, or movies that we like, or movies that we don't like. We'll just have to work on those later. But for all of us, we thank you and have a happy and safe 4th of July.
America!
And don't forget to wrap it up.
Join the makers each week as they discuss film, TV, and pop culture. To learn more about them, go to mof.ninja. This is Jason Statham saying goodbye.